Let me begin this video by asking you one question. Which do you think is the toughest year in a student's academic life? Now, most of you would probably say class 10 and class 12 because obviously these are board examination years and therefore seen and deemed to be more challenging than the rest of the student's life. But in my opinion, class 11 is actually the most challenging. It may not be the toughest, but it's definitely the most challenging. And I'll tell you 4 reasons why I think so. And I would want this video to be seen not just by students of class 11, but also by their parents, right? One, because class 11 marks the transition from class 10 to a higher grade. And this transition, this particular gradient often is quite steep for a variety of reasons. And students who choose to operate at the same efficiency that they displayed in class 10 often falter. This is an important statement I am making, and this I am making based on experience and observation of many students, the way they kind of falter when they move from a good performance in class 10 to a mediocre or not so good performance in class 11. Point number 2. Students who started studying in the month of December when they were in class 10 and still managed a 90 plus score actually think that this kind of an approach is good enough even for class 11 and thereafter even in class 12, and they prove to be completely off the mark. They prove to be wrong because the syllabus of class 11 demands a more disciplined, systematic and a regular approach. Point number 3, class 11 is a syllabus which is the base for class 12, and I'm sure most of you agree with me, most of you are aware of that. And this is much more so for those who are planning to appear for competitive examinations like JEE and NEET in particular, because quite often most of the questions for these examinations are based on the class 11 syllabus rather than class 12 syllabus. Point number 4, if you choose to take it easy during your class 11, not only will your results be poor in class 11, and that may not make much of a difference because obviously these are not board exams, they don't make much of a difference because it is your class 12 board examinations that really count as far as your future higher education is concerned. But what you will realize is that if you do not kind of prepare the concepts, understanding of concepts better in class 11, you only end up having to kind of do catch up when you are in class 12, and this is in particular for students who are pursuing the science stream. Now, having said that, what do you think should really be the approach as far as class 11 is concerned? And I want to list out 10 points quickly without wasting much time. As you know, I don't waste much time in talking about subscribe to the channel, ghanti bajao and all that kind of thing. Come to straight to the point because I value your time and my time as well. Point number 1, if you did well in class 10, ensure that you continue the same good habits because you know exactly what worked for you. Okay, it's a time and tested formula. You have seen it worked for you in class 10. So you ensure that you work with the same diligence, same enthusiasm, same focus, same energy, same vigor in class 11 as well, right? Point number 2, in case you did not perform so well in class 10, again you would know what were the reasons why you could not perform very well. It could be for the reason that I mentioned, that you started too late, or your focus and concentration and energies were diverted elsewhere where they should not be, okay, or your approach was not scientific and disciplined enough, you were too distracted. Class 11 is really the chance to make amends because you would have felt miserable on results day, right? If you did not do too well in class 10, your parents may have said a few harsh things to you, your friends may have poked fun. This is a chance to actually learn a lesson from the mistakes that you committed in class 10. So class 11 in that sense provides you with the best opportunity between class 10 and class 12 in order to be in peak form as far as class 12 is concerned. Now, having said both things, I want you to remember one thing. Class 10 is essentially like a trial ball. Now, I don't know how many of you have played gully cricket, but in gully cricket, what happens is that before the first over is bowled, the batsman always likes to take a trial ball. And even if you get out, you don't give the bat back to the other player because you say, "Arey, ye to trial ball tha," right? So, class 10 was like the trial ball, right? The real thing starts as far in class 11. So, Class 10 may give you the confidence that you are capable of something, but it's not the real thing, right? So do not mistake your performance of class 10. If I got a 97, I'm set for life. No, many students who get 97 off also unfortunately falter in class 11 and 12 and end up in the 80s, and this is basically because of a sense of overconfidence which they develop because of their performance, excellent performance in class 10. So class 11 in that sense could be really the foundation in case if you want to make your class 12 to be the real game changer in your life. Point number 4, have a regular schedule, which I mentioned. Most important, have a regular schedule. Even if you study for just 3 hours in a day, make those 3 hours count. That's what really matters. Focus on quality of your study time rather than quantity. There may be another classmate of yours, your best friend, who may be studying for 6 hours, 5 hours. But if your 3 hours are more focused and concentrated and not distracted, trust me, your 3 hours will be better than his 5 to 6 hours. If his 5 to 6 hours are also incorporating a couple of phone calls, getting distracted, thinking of things here and there. So quality rather than quantity is what really matters, right? And also, I'm saying this particularly because this is really the age, 16, 17, when the mind often tends to get distracted with all kinds of things which you should not actually embrace at this age. Point number 5, notes. Very important. If notes were important in class 10, the importance of notes increases manifold when you come to class 11 and class 12. It's very important to make your own notes instead of embracing a Xerox culture, and I've said this ad nauseum, right? Make your own notes in your own handwriting, in your own language. It really helps, right? Because closer to the examination time, you obviously will not have the time to read all your textbooks. So what should ideally be done, and I will do a separate video on how to make the perfect notes, is to actually look at your notes closer to the examination and all the keywords that you have underlined in your textbook. That's all you need to revise a day or 2 days or 3 days before the examination in order to save time and use your time more efficiently and more productively. 6th point, the right reference books and video material. That's something which you need to finalize, decide upon right now. Because irrespective of whether you are in CBSE or ISE or any of the state boards in the country, you need to always look at NCERT books. Ensure that you do, because many entrance examinations actually keep NCERT as the base for their exam questions for different subjects, especially for JEE and NEET. So from English to physics, ensure you also know that who is going to be your go-to educator on YouTube. Okay, different subjects, you may actually choose different educators who may actually give you a different kind of an analysis, a different kind of an understanding, a different kind of a perspective. So do not waste time in January, February looking for your online gurus. Ensure that you do that right now. Point number 7. Now, once you have logged your gurus, okay, that part is taken care of. Start your own schedule of finishing the class 11 syllabus on your own, especially this year when there is a lockdown, you're not having any physical classes. So ensure you do that process right now in the months of September, October, November. These 3 months should be your time in order to finish your own syllabus as part of your self-study schedule. December or first 15 days of December can be your buffer period in case there is some kind of a spillover. Post 15th of December is when your revision time should ideally start. Now, so always make it a point that if you are appearing for a test, for instance, at school, you end up scoring, say, for instance, a 7 on 10, right? Ensure that you spend time with your teacher or an online educator in order to understand where you went wrong as far as the remaining 3 questions were concerned. That part is what is going to really count, and that's what will make the difference between you and the person who actually scored a 9 or a 10 out of 10. Okay, so ensure that you do your postmortem of how you did your test. Don't be happy with a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Try to grab those 2 and 3 marks which you lost. That should be your focus, and that will help you not just in class 11 but also in class 12. You are basically preparing for the big World Cup final as far as your class 12 is concerned. So all these are the practice matches where you need to keep honing your skills, keep getting better day by day. Okay. Point number 8, class 12, and this is at a very psychological level. Class 12 often is a very lonely kind of a game that you are playing. You're fighting the demons in your head most of the time. Oh, I got less marks. I got a comment from someone the other day saying that everyone in my class gets more marks than me. Not everyone, but there are some friends of mine who get more marks than me, and I'm taunted and told things by my parents. What do I do? Of course, what I keep telling is, do not compare yourself with others, but compare yourself with how you did in your previous examination. Whether you have made a progress. If you have not made a progress, then it's a problem. You need to fix that issue. But if you have made a progress even of 3 marks over what you secured in the last examination, trust me, it means you are on the right path, right? So what you need to do is to fight those insecurities by staying positive all the mind. And the biggest motivator for each one of you is yourself. Keep motivating yourself. These 2 years, class 11 and 12, and especially class 11, you need to ensure that you keep all negative energies, all negative people out of your life. Banish them. You do not need any negative energies to be influencing you, because already you will be fighting a whole lot of anxieties and insecurities out here in your head. You need to think that this is my project. This is my life and this is my project, and I need to execute this project successfully, and only you can do it. Only you can do it. So please keep that thought in your mind all the time. Class 11 is the time when you are playing those practice matches, you're practicing at the nets, and class 12 is when you will actually get into the big ground. And then there will be too many other factors at play and you will not get the time to hone your skills. So class 11 is the time when you can actually do that. So class 11, please, for heaven's sake, for your own sake, do not waste this precious time, because what you do today is going to have a bearing on how you perform the following year. Point number 9, class 11, of course, as I said, is important from the point of view of preparing yourself for class 12. And a good academic performance will obviously give you that confidence that class 12 also you can repeat and better this performance. And 2, if you make any mistakes in class 11, which you should and which you would, this is also the time to correct those mistakes so that you do not have the same problems when you enter class 12, because class 12, the pressure will be much more, and every day it will be like the clock is ticking by. Last point, I would say that the 2020-21 batch of class 11 is actually lucky. Is actually lucky that you are neither in class 10 nor in class 12, not facing a board examination of the same intensity as it is in class 12 or class 10. The COVID pandemic will be behind you by the time you get into class 12, right? So this is a time to spend most of your time which you are getting at home in a productive manner. Don't while away and kill your time and waste your time, right? This is the time to make the most of your time that you're getting at home. Do not waste much time playing games. In any case, PUBG and TikTok are out of the way. So in that sense, you don't have too many options either. So do what you can. All the best to you. Do write in with your comments to let me know what you think of these tips and what more you could possibly add and how this could actually work for you. My suggestion, my advice to you as your well-wisher, as your mentor, as your educator is, please embrace all these points if you are in class 11, just so that you make your class 12 journey a better one, an easier one, and I pray to God, a very memorable one. Thank you very much for watching.